Have you recently thought about selling your IFA business and retiring? Maybe you've made various inquiries to firms to see what buyout proposition or strategy they're offering. Then this short presentation is for you. My name is Andrew Goodwin and this is presentation number 4, Succession. Okay, presentation number 4, Succession. This is one of 3 I'm doing in a row. This one is called Prepare. Let's have a look at the definition. Succession: a number of people or things of a similar kind following one after the other. Obviously, we're interested in retirement, and the advisor will retire. The business will be taken on by another advisor or another firm. That's the succession, but there is, of course, continuity. The clients will continue to have their investments, their plans, their policies, and they will want their plans and policies to be looked after by somebody. So they're looking for continuity while you're looking for succession. It's important when you're going into retirement that you get the whole process right. You don't want to look like this pretty sorry, decrepit looking chap on the left after a stressful exit from your business. What you'll want, first of all, is a good price for your business. So it's important that you get that absolutely right. Of course you do. That's why you go out having a look around at the marketplace to see what's out there. Of course, you want the buyer to care for your clients as well. Many of your clients are friends, and a lot of your friends have become clients. So you want them to be looked after even when you go into retirement. Of course, you may well still be meeting up with them while they're taking ongoing financial support from the buyer of your business. You also want a smooth, stress-free exit without any issues. That goes without saying. The easier, the simpler, the better. But quite often, unless you plan properly, simple turns out to be a nightmare. So planning is important. And of course, you want a more tax-efficient payment structure, whether that's all in one go to take advantage of some government offer, or to take it on a more lengthy annual basis to try and keep your tax a little bit as low as possible, which involves just an ongoing tax planning. Retirement without indemnity risk. Of course, the last thing you want once you're into retirement is for a complaint to come in the future that lands on your desk. So making sure that you have no indemnity risk moving forward is also part of the plan. So that's what you might look for. So here are the options. There are 5 options really when you think about it, and I've come across all of these as we meet financial advisors up and down the country. The first one, I've called this the dramatic exit. Do nothing and walk away from your clients. That does happen, where people just go, forget it, I'm off, and they leave the clients behind. That happens rarely, but it does happen. Then there's the chance exit. This is somebody that really has not considered anything at all and just hope that something comes along, or probably expect something to come along in the future. Not a good strategy. There are occasions where you might decide to exit a little bit early, and when you've planned nothing and nothing comes along, then your chances are failure. Then there's a sudden exit. Sell to the first offer at retirement. Maybe you get near retirement, you have a look what's out there, someone suggests something and you go for it. Maybe that is one of your strategies. Maybe that's part of the chance strategy. The problem with this one is you're probably not going to get the best price for your business when you could really, with a bit of planning, got something a bit better. This is becoming more and more prominent now, this considered exit, where people are thinking ahead and able to sell, therefore, to the highest bidder at retirement. But there is a problem with this as well. They tend to go in the direction of the buyer, who they are at the time, with very little consideration as to the consequences once the buyer takes over. The only real solution is the prepared exit. You have to plan well ahead. Know your buyer in advance, work with them on price, work with them on process, and most importantly, remember that the buyer has the continuity of the clients. So it's important that you work with a buyer and that your business matches what they are looking for. Don't try and promote your business and the way you work to somebody who doesn't work like that. You'll never get that business sold. So what I've done, I've come up with this acronym, PREPARE. Obviously, PREPARE means prepare and plan your business. The first P stands for plan. So we're going to go through each of these in turn, starting with P for plan. Okay, the first thing is be ready to retire. There's absolutely no point in trial efforts. We get inquiries all the time, how much do you pay for your business? And my question to them will be, when are you looking to retire? Oh, well, I'm not really, I'm just wanting to know for the future. A complete waste of time. What you need to be doing, therefore, is focusing on your business only, making your business grow to a point when you are planning to retire. Once you know when you're going to retire, you can then make sensible inquiries. And you need to establish a list of buyers. Who are they? Where are they? Don't just speculate. Find the buyers out there, make a sensible plan to approach them. But don't just approach them and ask what they're offering. You need to be pulling together a prospectus of your business. It's your business, you have to sell it. So you need to put it into a position that you can sell it. Again, we've had advisors say, how much will you pay for my business? And I say, what makes you think we want your business? What is your business about? What's the turnover? What's the renewal? How many new clients do you have? Where is the business? What platform? What investment? What type of business? How long have you had the business? What's your average client age? And so on. You need to have that prepared, and you need to pitch your business to a buyer. You need to make your business attractive. Also, you need to consider how you want to be paid. You need to have an agreement in place. Don't take somebody's word for it. You need to have a formal agreement in place well ahead so you know what's required and they know what's required. Consider your exit strategy, either immediate, 12 months or longer. This is what I would class as the transition period. You can go straight away, you're going to get less money. This is a walk away contract. You walk away, you get less money, you don't have any involvement. It happens over the weekend, if you like. The 12-month one means it's 12 months for you and your buyer to work together in order to transition your clients from one financial advisor to another smoothly over the year. You may want it longer, which gives you a little bit of an income for a longer period, but essentially most of them are done within 2 years. And also, you need to establish an exit point to aim for. You need to have a date. As I said at the beginning, unless you have a date, a good plan, for example, April 2025, if that's your plan, try and stick to that plan. Work on that basis. It's a lot easier for you, a lot easier for your buyer, and a lot easier for your clients. Let's not forget them. So R in the PREPARE acronym is R for reckon. Reckon your business. An awful lot of people will put a value on the business. How much do they want for it? And we hear a variety of calculators. In the end, any formula ends up with an amount of money. So it's the amount of money that you need to work out, not the formula. So we have advisors who will say, oh, I'm looking for 3 times my renewal, or I'm looking for 4 times my renewal, or I can get 8 times renewal somewhere else. That's all very well, but how does that convert into money? And what's the actual details? What is their agreement about? Nobody gives you 8 times for all your business. It would take far too long for that company to recover that amount of outlay. So there's going to be a catch somewhere. It's an attractive headline. So you need to work on not just a value for your business, but a method. Consider a method to value your business. You need to reckon everything. And then once you've got that formula, calculate your business and then settle on that figure. Don't settle on the formula. For example, don't settle on, I want 3.5 times my renewal, because once you go out looking for 3.5 times your renewal, it doesn't really make any sense to anybody. Their opinion of your renewal might be very different to yours. So you need a pound figure. Then you need to justify that figure. So you need to consider new business levels. Does your turnover include 20% new business, 50% new business, or no new business? How many new cases do you get a month? Where does that new business come from? Does it come from your clients' recommendations? Does it come from an introducer that you're working with all the time? Maybe you get a good introducer, accountant, or a solicitor who gives you regular business. Or does it come from your marketing? Does it come from your social media activity, your website? What are your renewal business levels? How long does it take you to work on supporting and servicing your clients? Is it taking 80% of your time, 90% of your time? Are you spending 70 hours a week servicing these existing clients? How efficient is your business? That sounds like it's pretty inefficient if you're spending all your time servicing and you're not doing enough new business. And how is all this supported? Who supports it? Are you teamed up with a bigger organization like Truly Independent? Do you have your own staff? Do you team up with a number of different companies providing compliance support, IT support? What are the demographics of your clients? What's their average age? How many households do you have? What's the average number per household? How many under 25? How many are retired? How many over 85? You need to know these as well. And where are they? Are they spread all over the UK or within 50 miles of your location? What type of business do you do? Is it face-to-face, or like many businesses now, are you using video technology? And also remember, you're not just selling your business, you're moving your business on to a buyer. The buyer is not really interested in the money you've made, only so much as it gives them an idea of what they can make from that business in the future. So they're interested in the future value, not the present value. So rather than say, I've done this, I've done that, and I've done the other, you could say, this business will generate this amount of business in the future. It will grow by this in 2 or 3 years, etc. You're creating a future value, not a present value for your buyer. E, establish a buyer. We touched on this earlier. You need to have a buyer in mind early and to contact them directly. I would say avoid agencies. They're effectively for those who fail to plan. What typically happens is, I think I'll retire, I think I'll find out what I can get from a business, and you go to an agent. They're not really interested in you. They don't have your interest in it at heart. They don't have your client's interest at heart. They tend to charge both parties, so they get a double dip on the cost, and it's always their agenda. They can pull together an idea of what your business looks like. They can put together a prospectus, but they then pitch it to anybody. And as soon as they get a sniff of somebody who might want to buy your business, you're in front of them. They tend to also go to everyone, and they tend to not target specific buyers that are right for you. There's an awful lot of waste of time in using agencies, and that's why they charge an awful lot of money, as much as 6% for getting your business sold. It's quite often the best buyer is usually right in front of you, and it amazes me how many times advisors tend not to ask the person that's right in front of them, i.e. their business partner. Start there. Somebody you talk to on a regular basis, go to them. Another financial advisor. Phone up the businesses in your area. I've got a business for sale. I think it'll do you really, it'll be a good business, a good complementary business for you. Can I come along and talk to you about it? Find out who's out there in a 50-mile radius. And of course, if you're working with companies like Truly Independent or other types of large nationals or networks, go to them first. Don't disappear to some distant third party because of a headline. Ask people. Ask people where they've gone. Ask other retired advisors how they got on when they sold their business. So promote your business directly to others. Just tell people you're thinking of selling your business. Do you know anyone who'd be interested? Start with the firm and the people you work with. Once you've got a buyer, a potential buyer, whittle it down to 2 or 3 and then present to them. So don't ask, what will you give me for my business? Present it to them. Remember, you've got something that you hope they want. So pitch it that way. You need to have a full presentation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a flip chart or a prospectus or anything glossy, but you need to have the information so when you talk to somebody, you're able to rattle off the information. And of course, back it up with evidence, links to your data, etc. But always start off with your biography. Who are you? What's your background? That helps people understand the type of clients you might have and the way you might work. Client information, locations, areas of distribution, business type, pension, investment, mortgages, protection. What are the splits? Do you do 80% pension, or is it very few pensions and 80% business, the rest are mortgages? What are the splits? Where is the business placed? Do you use 1, 2, or 3 platforms? How many providers have you used over the years? How many do you keep in touch with? How many give real-time valuations for your clients, and how many do you have to phone up for? What is your last 12 months business to give them a current idea of where this business might go in the next year? Remember, future value. You need to make your last 3 years accounts available to your buyer. Do some projections. Show your business growing over the last couple of years and then project them over the next 2 or 3 years. The idea of a good business is to grow your business into your retirement, which shows it growing, as opposed to shrinking your business into retirement, which looks like it's a failing business. And of course, make sure they know your timetable to retirement. Is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? And also how long you want the transition period for. And of course, you need a price, but justify that price. You need to be able to say why you've come up with a £400,000 figure for your business. Don't sell them a formula. Say it generates this amount of business because of the new business it brings in, because of the size of the business it brings in, the client quality. Make sure you know your business off to a T and can pitch it well and present it well to your buyer. Of course, don't take verbal agreement. Make sure it's written. Talk to a solicitor and make sure that this agreement can be adjusted by both people. It can take 4 or 5 times for an agreement to go backwards and forwards until you negotiate and discuss the final terms. What is being sold is usually a business which is, in financial services terms, 100% client relationship. Very rarely are you selling a complete business. It's rare these days that anybody would want to buy your building, your computer, any of the other assets. They're interested in your clients. So make sure you know what is being sold and it's in the agreement. A solicitor will advise you on that. The purchase price is important, and the period to receive that money should be in there. And you mention any guarantees and any variables. What I mean by variables is you agree terms, but then the final figure is adjusted because of the variables involved in transferring a business, i.e. not all the clients may want to go to the new financial advisor or the buyer. So it's important that you agree terms properly. If you go to firms like Truly Independent or you're working with a network, they may well have a plan already in place. Ask to see it. Ask to see it at the outset. Don't join a firm on the principle that they will buy the business off you. Make sure you see that contract up front, and if necessary, discuss the terms. Once you've got to this stage, you've reached your time where you're ready to retreat from your work. This is a period of transition. You need to inform your clients of the process and why you're retiring and who you recommend them to go to, i.e. your buyer. It's not just a sale, it's a recommendation of the buyer. So you need to inform the clients that you're retiring, tell them what's happening, and recommend the buyer. You recommend that they go with the new financial advisor. For those people who are selling their business within an organization like Truly Independent, the client doesn't have to do anything. They stay effectively within the firm, and the only thing that's changing would be the advisor. That makes it a simple, smooth transition, and it means you're more likely to get the best result, a seamless, stress-free transition than if you were selling to a third party. There is information on our website actually around what happens when you're selling to a third party rather than internally. So you've got to be prepared to be involved for the benefit of your clients to alleviate any of their concerns, for the benefit of the buyer to cement the relationship, and for your own smooth retirement realization. And then you've reached the last part of the acronym PREPARE, E for exit. Make sure you have been fully paid. That's the first thing before you finally exit. Keep an eye not just on the transition of the clients and making sure that relationship is built up, but keep an eye on the money. Make sure you're getting regular feedback as to the process, what's happening. The buying firm will give you that feedback simply because they want the clients to continue. So your involvement in reassuring clients is always a good support to make sure this transition works. Have you any outstanding issues to sort out? Are there one or two complaints maybe that you need to handle? And don't forget to inform the regulator. You have effectively left the industry, and so you need to inform the regulator you're no longer advising. And don't forget to say a final goodbye to your clients. Okay, this slide tells me that we've reached the end of this short presentation on succession PREPARE acronym, which is very general, a general look at what you need to consider when you're valuing your business and looking to move it on to another buyer. What if there was already a practice in place? Truly Independent have devised a complete process which simplifies the whole thing. It's a walk-away business with a full contract, and we call it a 4x4 practice buyout. So please join me next week and I'll talk you through how that works. For more information, especially on succession, go to happyfinancialadvisors.co.uk/succession strategy. You can go to YouTube and follow more of these presentations, or of course you can buy the book. A lot of this is in there. Thank you.